Hey everyone, hope you're doing well out there and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to go over a design process that I've been using for the last 10 years or so. Whether you're a professional designer just starting off or just curious, having a solid design process in place can greatly help to hone in your creativity when working on a project. In this video, I'm going to go into a step-by-step guide on how I approach design from inspiration to final presentation. To give you some background on me, I've been hired by the likes of Cheech & Chong, Rip and Dip, the Federal Bureau of Land Management, and many more. Instead of a flex, you could look at this as why listening to me might be a good idea. With all that out of the way, let's get right into it. The first part of my design process is finding a direction to move in, looking for the right inspiration for the project. And the best place I've found to do that is Pinterest. With its seemingly endless collection of images, Pinterest is, in my opinion, the place to collect resources and ideas to spark your creativity. Spend some time browsing through different boards and saving pins that catch your eye for your project. If you're working with a client, you can ask them to make a mood board based on their own ideas for what they want for the project. I typically ask for this if I'm working on a branding project. After creating your board and gathering enough images to have your own idea, it's time to move on to the next stage, sketching thumbnails. Thumbnails are quick, small-scale sketches that help you explore compositions and layout. Grab a pencil and a sketchbook or open up a new file on your preferred program and start freely rendering multiple thumbnail sketches based on the inspiration you've acquired. For this process, I prefer sketching my thumbnails out on pen and pad. Don't worry too much about how they look. Have fun exploring these ideas quickly. Now that you have a good amount of thumbnail sketches, it's time to pick a composition that speaks to the project the most. When I'm deciding what thumbnail sketch to pick, I consider things like balance in the composition, focal points, and the overall impact of the image. This is just the starting point, and you can always refine this image later on when you're sketching. Think of the thumbnail sketch as the foundation to a house. I like the way that this one suits my project, and I'll move forward with this composition. With the composition chosen, it's time to dive deeper into the sketching process. This is where you start fleshing out those details of your design. Take your time to experiment with different elements in your piece, explore different variations, and refine your ideas. This stage is all about refining your vision, exploring the theme, and ensuring your design aligns with your initial concept. It's very important in all of these steps to stay true to your ideas. You want to guide the piece toward its meaning. After your sketch is in a place where it feels finished, it's time to move on to inking. Using the brush tool, trace over your sketch to get clean, polished lines. This step elevates your sketch lines and prepares it for the next stage of the process. Inking takes many years of practice to get your lines just how you want them, and there are many techniques you can look into while developing your inking style. When it comes to programs I use for illustration, I personally prefer Adobe Photoshop. I've heard good things about Clip Studio Paint too. For branding, I love to use Adobe Illustrator. When you're using programs like Photoshop that aren't vector-based, it's important to work at a high dimension, 300 dpi or higher, to ensure that your client gets a high-quality image they can use for high-quality printing. When the inking is complete, it's time to add color to your design. Consider the mood, theme, overall message, and meaning of the artwork as you explore potential color palettes. Experiment with these different hues, shading techniques, and textures to bring your design to life. I typically will play around with different color schemes until I find one that fits well with the graphic. The last stage of my design process is the presentation. This is where you showcase all of that effort that turned into your new design. Here we'll prepare your design for display by using mock-ups and different textured paper to give your design a finished, presentable look. Consider what the design will be used for when presenting it. In this case, I'm presenting a t-shirt. With the work finished, that about wraps up my video on how to create designs from inspiration to final presentation. If you follow these steps and take each step as seriously as the next, over time you'll develop a style and a work ethic that will be so good, it'll be insane. If you found this video at all helpful, consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. In the future, I want to do more videos about design, photography, and cinemas, doing short film and who knows what else. I'm kind of exploring that still. But if you have any questions or want to leave a comment, feel free, and I'll see you in the next one.